I want to turn now to Sam Vinograd, forgive me, national security contributor here at CBS News. Talk to me about how this played out in terms of evaluating Israeli intelligence inside Iran.
Well, Major, I've worked with Israeli intelligence, the Mossad as well, particularly when it comes to Iran. And let me tell you this, intelligence operations just don't happen overnight. And there is reporting in the Times of Israel and elsewhere that really speaks to the fact that this operation inside of Iran was months, if not years, in the works. Mossad, for example, yesterday evening, assassinated top nuclear scientists. There were Mossad operatives on the ground that engaged in these assassinations. There were Mossad operatives on the ground that helped launch drones from inside Iran to strike targets. And so what that tells us is that this operation was being planned for a long time. Sources were cultivated, and somehow the Mossad was able to do all of this under the radar of Iran's own intelligence services. So this is a black eye to Iranian intelligence, while also this operation served to actually damage Iranian capabilities.
The Israeli assumption is right now Iran is vulnerable. It has lost proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Syrian regime. And this penetration, intelligence penetration of Iran would also suggest it's vulnerable even beyond the way the map makes it look vulnerable.
Yes, and as you may recall, Israel launched other assassinations within Iran over the past year. So it's very clear that Iranian intelligence just can't keep up with the Mossad, and that senior Iranian officials, top military brass, top nuclear scientists, are all accessible targets to Israeli intelligence. At the same time, Israel's last strike several months ago took out Iranian air defense systems. What that means in layman's terms is that Iran has less capability to defend against missiles. So on many fronts, Iran is vulnerable. Israel is not sitting back on its heels. However, Israel is activating its own air defense system to try to protect against an Iranian response. Israel is very much expecting that Iran is going to up the ante and try to hurt Israel as much as Israel has hurt Iran.
What should we watch for in the next 48, 72 hours?
Well, we should watch to see whether Iran actually tries to target U.S. assets, both overseas in the Middle East, in Israel, in other parts of Europe, for example, or even here in the homeland. In my experience, within our own borders, Iran could choose to activate proxies to strike targets in the U.S. if Iran thinks that the U.S. was actively involved in this operation. We know that the U.S. did provide support to Israel intercepting Iranian missiles striking Israel. What we don't really know yet, Major, is whether the U.S. was involved in Israel's strike against Iran in some capacity.
It would be an enormous risk for Iran to strike out at the United States at this particular moment, would it not?
It would, although sometimes Iran denies culpability. They activate their proxies. A proxy is really someone that's not directly
traceable.
Yes, and loosely affiliated with the Iranian regime. Iran could activate its proxies and say, we didn't have full control over this. When I was in Iraq, they did that all the time, using their proxies there. And so Iran could seek to activate its proxies or to activate some kind of cyber attack against the U.S. and deny culpability, just to send a message to the United States to back off and not support Israel in this endeavor.
Sam Vinograd, great to have you at the family table. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it.